Keep showing up, and I'ma keep showing up. Do you want it bad enough? I'ma keep showing up, showing up.
Welcome back to my channel, my crystal kings and queens. So I'm not even going to, you know what, I'm just gonna jump into this whole thing head first. Let me tell you something. I have been meditating with my golden healer quartz, or my golden healer, for 3 days now. 3 days consecutively. And my first day, as I mentioned in my previous video, you can definitely go check that out. I believe I titled it, "Have you experienced crystal energy lately?" Something like that. Either way, I'll link it if I have to. My first day though, I thought I was tripping. And clearly I was not. Okay. I felt like the only term that is appropriate for what I was feeling was a complete download. There's no other way to put it. I've never experienced anything like that. I felt like I was literally being downloaded into, like information was being given to me from the crystal through my entire body, starting with my left arm. Metaphorically speaking, I felt like I was a charger. You know, as we all have them, we have our devices, our technology, that once you plug it in, it lights up. And, you know, if you can visualize it, the electrical currents run through that cord into your device. That is how I was feeling with the crystal attached to me, receiving information or receiving whatever it was that the crystal wanted to give me. I don't know if it really gave me any information. As I mentioned before, if it did, maybe it'll surface, you know, itself sometime later. Maybe it'll come to me in my dreams. Maybe I'll have a vision. I don't know. But I felt like I was being downloaded into. That's day number 1, or night number 1. Night number 2. Night number 2, I don't even know how to sum it up. And I have to journal this. Like, I was advised to, you know, get a crystal journal or dream journal, or, you know, whatever that is. Or, you know what I mean? Like, so that I can record, you know, my experiences with my crystals. So a crystal journal. But as you all know or may not know, I consider my videos, you know, that I share with you all, my crystal journals as well. So I had to come on here and let you all know what's been happening with me with this crystal during my meditation moments. Day number 2, or night number 2, I begin, I'm sorry if I'm like getting loud, like this is so serious. Gosh, I'm very in tune to the spiritual world. A lot of things happen around me, to me, through me. I'm able to see things, hear things, feel things. Like I'm a complete 100% empath to the max of the max of the max. And just a lot of things happen. A lot of things happen that I can foresee, that I can feel coming. Just so much. So we'll save that for another video or another journal. But my night number 2 with this golden healer, I laid down and I took, as I mentioned in part 1, yeah, it'll be that's part 1. My have you experienced crystal energy lately? That's part 1. This is part 2. So in part 1 is how I'll reference it. I mentioned I was going to actually meditate with the golden healer quartz and my Atlantean amethyst point and my newly claimed jade crystal heart. And I did just that. I placed the jade onto my heart, or on my chest. I had my golden healer in my left hand, and I had my Atlantean amethyst quartz record keeper, you know what I'm saying, in my right hand. So I laid with my hands completely flat, laid in the bed with both my hands to my side and the jade on my heart, or on my chest in the center. And when I tell you, the very first instant, the very minute that I placed these crystals in my hand, specifically the golden healer, download, without question, that same feeling with such intensity, it was unreal. It was so unreal. And it's so funny because I mentioned the very first night that I was able to just kind of lay with it, you know, not even in a official meditation stance or anything like that. I was just laying down on my side, whatever. The first thing it made me do was think of R&B music, or a form of R&B music, specifically Michael Jackson. Then I listened to Prince, and then, you know, any other just form of R&B, or, you know what I mean, like, it was just a slow jam night, slow jam type of night. That was what it made me think of. So during my second night, actually meditating with the crystal, I thought of a few more calming and relaxing set of songs, and I listened to that. I actually put on some of my spiritual tunes, aka for me, gospel music. At the moment, nothing that was just nothing that would get my spirit too hype, but would relax me and just kind of zone me out, you know what I mean? So needless to say, because this is just going to be a long video regardless, I put on my tunes and I just zoned out, and I let the crystal have its way. I said I was saying a few prayers, you know, just kind of spending some one-on-one time with God, you know, speaking to him a little bit. And from there, the things that happened, and oh my God, like, it's making my armpits itch with how antsy I'm. Like, I want to let you all know what's really happening here, but I want to do it in the way that it makes sense for you, and in the order that it actually happened. So put on my tunes, connected, said my prayers, spoke with God, boom, personal time. I felt the download. It was so intense. It was so surreal. It was just so strong. A lot of you don't know this about me, but like, I can get really, really, really hot, and my hands and feet will get extremely cold. Now, if it's really hot outside, of course, I'm gonna just be hot all around, but I sweat, and like, my hands and feet kind of sweat. This particular instance, I made sure the AC was on good, full blast going, because when I meditate with any crystals, I get extremely hot. So needless to say, that was kind of one of those moments. It was actually about 74 degrees in the house, hot outside, really cool on the inside. Like, it was cold inside, and my hands immediately started sweating so bad, just started sweating. I'm getting all of this tingling sensation, like thumping, pulsating sensations. It was from my arm, from my hands, all the way into my wrist, my arm, my chest, my neck, and then flowed all the way down to my feet. My toes started, you know, jumping. So I felt like a little twinkle toes at, you know, for a moment. And like, that was literally how I was feeling, like twinkle toes. My vessels, it might sound a little weird, but my vessels started jumping. Like, you know how your muscles, not contract, but spasm in a sense, or whatever it is that, when your muscles jump, that's it. Like, you know, when your muscles jump. We used to call it like a frog in your leg or a frog in your arm, like when your skin just kind of, you know, pulsate a little bit. Yeah, well, that's what my body was doing. It was just jumping a little bit, like very intermittently. not so close together, but in areas that I would normally, you know, not have to worry about that type of happening. Like that it just never happens to me. My skin just doesn't jump. My muscles don't jump. Like that just doesn't happen. So that took place, and then I from there, the craziest, like, oh my God, like everything just, like, I got this wave. I got like a really cool, fresh wave that came over me. It was very, very subtle and gentle, just very gentle. I like the feeling, like being at the beach, you know, or near ocean, and you just get that really cool gust of wind that's not too cold, but it's not too hot. And it feels good. It's like, oh God, I could stay here forever. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of feeling that kind of came over me. And then I felt like I was getting too hot. Like my hands and feet, I could feel it getting a little cool on me. Now, mind you, not everything. I'm not moving. My hands are still to my side. Everything is fine. But I felt like I was probably starting to sweat, like extremely, you know, just like real profusely. So I sat up, or I'm sorry, no, before I sat up, what I did was the amethyst that was in my right hand, my right, your left right now, I took it and I just kind of put it on my lower stomach or lower abdomen. And then I removed my left hand with my golden healer in it. I removed my left hand from my left side, and brought it to my face like this. Now, when my hands sweat, they glisten a little bit, but at this particular moment, nothing shimmery about my hand to signify that my hands were sweating or anything. I felt like a pool of water was just, you know, gonna come flooding out my hand, which is how hot my hand was. Also, just a, you know, quick mention, I took off all my jewelry. I did not have my jewelry on. I wanted to get the full effects. You hear me? So I lifted the crystal to my hand, and when I went to move it, this is exactly how I did it. I went to move it just like that. Don't know why my hand went like that, but that's how it went. And when I went to remove the golden, oh my God, like y'all, whoa. And I just got a whole nother wave, because I just meditated a few minutes ago, which is probably why I can't get myself together. Like, it's insane. And the aftermath is uncomprehendable. So anyway, I went to remove the golden healer from my left hand, just like this. And when I went to pick it up, I kid you not, and you may think I'm crazy, you may think it sounds crazy, you may feel like, nah, that don't happen. Ultimately, you know, believe it, don't believe it, I don't really care, but I don't believe that you all are like that. I'm 100% for certain that my royal family, you guys, you ladies, you men, you kings, you queens, my crystal kings and queens will understand exactly what I'm saying. I moved that crystal from my left hand, and when I removed it, I don't want to call it a string, but that's the quickest and most easiest way I can get you to understand it. A string of glowing light, a white string, glowing, came from this portion of my hand. Not, look, you hear me? It came from the center. Was it the, it wasn't, look, I don't know if it was a direct center, if it, you know, however I had the crystal position on my hand, the bottom of it, when I moved the crystal, when I moved the bottom of the crystal from my hand, a string, it wasn't long, it was, if I had to measure it, it was probably half of my pinky. You know what I mean? So from my nail to about, I had to glance at the at the screen so I could see how I was doing it. From my nail to right here, about that long, no joke, no lie, came from out of my hand and went back into the crystal. I've never seen anything like, first of all, immediately I jumped up, okay? Like they say when you meditate, even into yoga, when you're doing yoga, they say give yourself a moment before you move, before you sit up, before you do anything, so you can just kind of collect yourself, you know what I mean? So that's what I did. I made sure, because I know me and I can trip off of little to nothing. So I laid there for a minute, just a mere minute, and then I, you know, brought the crystal up to my face to remove it. And again, when I removed that crystal, a short string of white, a short white string of glowing light, I don't know, came from my hand and back into the crystal. Let me tell you something. This video is long. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, I am so sorry, but I have to get this off of me. Like, I mean, not in a very, you know, figuratively speaking, not in a bad way. But my golden healer, okay? The bottom half of this is what you see. I'm sorry, it looks really crazy right now because of the angle or whatever the case is. But this is how it was in my hand. This way. I was not gripping it tight, none of that. When I removed the crystal from my hand, a string, that, look, you hear me, came from my hand. Okay, so again, I thought I was tripping. And I immediately sat up. I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? First and foremost, that was the most amazing feeling that I was already, you know, ever partaking in, just in general through the meditation. And then to witness that when I not even concluded my meditation, because I wasn't finished, you know what I mean? And I was laying in the dark, okay? Well, not completely the dark. I had a lamp light that was really, really dim. No, I turned that off. I'm sorry. I had my laptop on. So the only glowing things was the keyboard, but that was nowhere near me. So when I do get up, we have a system where we can turn the light on with our phone, an app. So that's what I did. And I made sure I adjusted. Like, I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to paint the picture where you understand there's nothing that could have affected this, nothing that could have made me think I saw this and I didn't. Like, I need y'all to understand, for real, for real. I could spend forever and ever talking about this, but a white glowing string came from out of my hand and went back into the crystal. My sister said, your crystal bit you. I was like, that's a really cute way to put it. So moving on from that magnificent portion of that, when I set up, finally, after I was really, really shocked, I figured, okay, well, let me try meditating sitting upward in the upright position with my legs crossed and my hands to the side, such as this. And I meditated like that. My hands, of course, were rested on my knees in a crisscross position, or Indian style. And immediately, now I still have my music going and everything. Now this time, you know, I gave myself just about a few seconds to readjust, recoup, gather myself again, and then I went to close my eyes and I began to meditate again. Once again, speaking to God, just, you know, my personal time. Immediately when I started doing that, there are 5 people in my life that were so important to me that have passed away. So very, very, very important to me. They have long gone on, and, you know, I thank God that they're in a much better place. Soon as I closed my eyes, those 5 people came back to back to back to back. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all like that. And they all smiled at me. It was like they all came together. They all smiled at me. I cried. You hear me? I cried like a baby. I cried. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. I cried. You hear me? I was so happy. I was so happy for all about 5 seconds. 5 to 7 seconds. It had to be. It couldn't have been no longer than that. It was so quick. It was so quick. I saw them all. None of them, you know, I always think about them, or no, here's the deal. You kind of push it to the back of your head, you know. Those are the type of things that you wish that they were there with you. You wish that they're here. The way I move throughout my life consistently, you know, I don't think about it. I don't think about those important people that have passed on. I try not to, because it'll, you know, to make me sad and happy at the same time. But you see what, like, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. They were not at the forefront of my mind, you know, which is, you know, what people would think, okay, well, you were probably thinking about them earlier, which is what made them, you know, come up in your head, or you were just probably, you know, picturing them. No, they appeared to me and they all smiled to me as though like they knew I was doing something good, or they knew something I didn't know about me. Like, you know, I've been asking about my purpose, my destiny, or more so just my purpose, not my destiny, but my purpose, my path, the direction I'm supposed to be headed. And this has just been such a journey. Within those 5 to 7 seconds of seeing those 5 important people to me in my life, for a mere 5 to 7 seconds, smiling at me, it was like a congratulation moment. You know what I mean? You did it. Like, here you are, you know? I don't know. I cried. That's all I got. I cried. And that fresh wind, that fresh feeling came, you know, came from my feet to my legs, to my knee, to my thighs, into my stomach, my chest, my face, my arms, my hands. It just, from the bottom up, it just, I felt like I was being elevated, you know? I felt like I was just being elevated, lifted up. Like, I felt that way. And I was just so happy. I was so happy. I've never experienced anything like it. I've never felt anything like it. And I'm just so grateful because it was such an awesome moment. So awesome. I've never experienced anything like that. I've had some experiences. I have definitely had some spiritual experiences, spiritual encounters, like some crazy stuff, okay? Visions, dreams, like, you, man, hearing it all, like, you're seeing it, like, you wouldn't believe. But last night was the epitome of everything unimaginable, uncomprehendable, that I would have never thought I'd ever have a chance to experience. So, yeah, I cried. And then it was a happy cry. It was a very happy cry. It was a very happy cry. And after that, man, you know, my song ended, or my playlist ended, and then I opened my eyes and I was fine. I was good. I felt good. I felt really good. The after effects, though. The after effects, or the aftermath of that meditation, my hands and feet and behind, okay, my butt was cold. Like, I was burning up. You hear me? I was burning up. Sorry about that. I got a call. And it is once again raining outside. So, yeah, as I was saying, yeah, I was burning up, but I felt like I had used so much energy, like unbelievable, like an unbelievable amount of energy. Okay. I felt like I had used and exhausted a lot of energy, but I was freezing. I was freezing ice cold. Like, it hurt to touch my own skin because my hands were so cold. Jeez, that was amazing. That was so amazing. Okay. Oh my God. And almost forgot to tell you, when I, like, you know how when you sit up and you just kind of do that, you know, you move around just to, yeah. So I did that and I was like, what is this under me? And that's exactly how I went. I motioned this way. I was like, what is this under me? So I went, like, something was poking me. And I went to figure out what it was. Can you believe a crystal point had broken off of my crystal? Had broken off of my golden healer. there's only two positions that I was in. That was laying down flat with both my hands to my left and my right to the sides of me. And the second position was sitting upright in Indian style. After of course, everybody's like, okay, well, wait a minute. What happened to your jade? Did it fall off your heart? No, I moved that when I set my Atlantean amethyst down, my point, when I set it down before I sat up, I moved the jade off my chest. So I was able to sit up that way. But I was still holding my golden healer. Anyway, so the only second position I was in really was just sitting Indian style or crisscross with the golden healer still in my left hand. And then I grabbed the Atlantean crystal again, my amethyst again. And then now my jade was sitting in the center of me. But back to my point, I removed a small little chip from up under me, underneath my butt. Not on the, not under my back, no, none of that, under my butt. I removed it and I was like, when did this chip off? I'm very gentle with my stuff. I check to make sure that none of my crystals are loose or, any of that. So I have no clue when and how that chip broke off, but it did. And it was in a perfect point. As a matter of fact, I'll go grab it in a second. But also, I found a second one. I found a second chip. I was like, two crystal points have broken off of my crystal, and I have no clue when it did it, how, and for what reason. I'm like, am I gonna have to look forward to these points falling off every time I have an experience? So 2 points. The first point I could say maybe was after the whole string, the glowy string encounter. And then the second point could probably be for when I saw my 5 loved ones. 2 points, 2 experiences within one whole moment. That makes a lot of sense, maybe. Yeah, so 2 points broke off. And it's crazy because when I even, as I mentioned in my crystal shopping, come crystal shopping with me video, 2 points had broken off. That's crazy. Anyway, fast forwarding to now. Day number 3. This is a long, I'm sorry, y'all. This is really long, huh? I just needed y'all to know. But day number 3. I went back in my same position, laying down. Golden healer to my left, amethyst on my right. This time, no jade. I got that 100% downloading experience from day 1, day 2, day 3 now. And this download felt a little more unique because now I was getting tingling sensations in the bottom of my feet. I started having twinkle toes again. My the inner parts of my calves, they started jumping. I felt one jump in my thigh, in my left thigh. All these calls are knocking out my video. That's probably because it's just, this video is just too long. But like, man, the bottom of my lip started tingling. Like, it was like, I felt like it was doing like that. Like a tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, a tick tock tingle. And then my tongue, like this part, the tip of my tongue went numb. And trying to think, were there any other sensations? I did like this body jump a few times, and that was about it for those type of feelings. I did get a really cool rush that went throughout my body, this time from head down, and just all while this really strong, in-depth just download, it's a download. I don't know how to explain it. And it's every night since I meditated with this crystal, it's been raining every night. This is so crazy. Every night, or for the past 2 nights, and then now day. But this crystal is so serious, you all. It's so serious. If you can get your hand on one, I would highly recommend it. My sister did a little bit of research for me because I clearly just did none. And she found that it is a spiritual stone. And that I can attest to. Just simply experiencing it. I did not know. I was not fully aware of this crystal's capabilities or anything like that, but she made me aware this is a spiritual stone. This is probably why you experience this and that, and this is what's going on. She sent me a bunch of links and all this other kind of stuff, just kind of helping me out because I was really mind blown to all of this. And, you know, even in day 3, experiencing this strong sensation, this strong sense of like information being gathered. And like, I don't know if you've seen anything like when people can go to sleep, or like when you're watching a movie and you see that a person's trying to take in all this information, or they're trying to see so many different things at one time with their eyes closed, and all you see is their eyes just kind of doing this back and forth under their eyelid, just kind of going nuts. That's what my eyes were doing. I could feel it. Just being closed while I'm feeling all of this stuff come from my hand into my arm, elbow, you know, up my shoulders into my chest. Like I was feeling everything in here all the way down. Like it was so crazy. And my eyes are just going like this all while I'm sleeping. I'm sorry, sleeping. All while I got my eyes closed. And so this moment has just been so spiritually monumental for me, so important. I had to let you all know, like, this is so serious to me. This crystal is everything. Nothing like I've ever experienced. Absolutely nothing like I've ever experienced. And like, I wish I feel like I just seem so like kind of neutral and nonchalant, but like I'm just really calm and chill. And then I got like this really crazy random headache after I just finally set up, because for day number 3 I laid down fully. I didn't do much of a sitting up meditation, but I did get into that stance, into that position, and I meditated. So I did do 2 positions. Okay, yeah. So I did do 2 positions, crisscross and laying down. But I only did the crisscross position for like 2 minutes or so. It wasn't nothing long at all. And it's like it almost amplifies when you sit up. Or maybe for me, because I'm experiencing so much while I'm laying down, when I sit up, it's like that blood rush, you know, from hanging upside down too long or something like that. And then when you know, position yourself in the right way, all of it comes rushing back down. Yeah, it's kind of like that. That's how it felt. Like all of the energy just you know, kind of came down. And I got like a really crazy headache afterwards. And so I was like, you know what? I don't want to try it, but I think I might. Like, I've always been a little skeptical. Skeptical was the darn word I was trying to think of when I was like, I don't really, you know, I ain't trying to be, what is the word? What was bothering me? At that moment in my video, it was skeptical. Skeptical is the word. I've been a little skeptical of, you know, putting crystals on my forehead or whatever like that to just kind of remove headaches and all that other kind of stuff. So I did that. I was just like, you know what? I debated. Like, I went back and forth with myself for like a split second, like, no, I'm not gonna do it. It ain't gonna work. I ain't gonna worry about it. And so I was like, you know what do I got to lose, you know? Let me try it. So I put the golden healer on my forehead, and I just listened. I sat there and I just listened to, you know, the outside, I listened to nature. I listened to the rain. I listened, you know what I mean? It was really quiet in the house, and it still is. And when I tell you the feelings, like, I wanted to do like this to my body. Like, that's how I felt while I had that crystal, while I had the golden healer on my head. And it was, you know, it was just like this. I had this part right here to my head, just lightly placed, not even fully. And all I wanted to do was just kind of wipe myself, you know. That's all I wanted to do. Like, the feeling I was getting, not like I was dirty or nothing. It's just, it really alleviated that pain that was sitting right here. It alleviated all of that pain in that mere moment. It alleviated all of that pain that was right here. And I just wanted the feeling that I had while it was just wiping that headache away. I just wanted to wipe myself with it. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's today. These last 3 days have been so amazing. But the aftermath is out of this world. My hands and feet are literally so freezing cold right now. They're so cold. So anyway, I had to come out and journal this. Like, I had to let y'all know, because if I wrote this down, it's going to be so much to write. And, you know, I hope out of this long amount of time, I did not miss a thing. I'm not editing any of this except just kind of putting all of these, all of the clips together. I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope that you understand my point, or you get what I was trying to convey. I don't know if, I feel like I was given so much from the crystal, and I don't know if it's going to, you know, reveal itself down the road, down the line, later today, tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know if I'll, you know, come across it in my dreams, if I'll have visions about it. I don't know, but I hope that it reveals itself to me soon. I really do. Because it's just so much. And I've used so much energy. Oh my God. So thank y'all. Thank y'all so. Oh, I was going to show you the points. Hold on. Okay. All right. So I don't know if it'll show clear or not, or, you know, depending on. Okay. So it's not the most. Okay. Wait a minute. It's not the most clear thing. What the hell? What is that? I'm sorry, y'all. Oh my God. Okay. So I don't know how to really, you know, get y'all to see it as clear as I want you to, but these are the two points. One's shorter than the other, but these are the 2 points that broke off. And the other 2 points that broke off, I actually put them in a bag with my clear quartz. So I don't know if they're just going to keep breaking off, or like... I don't know if y'all can see that, but they're 2 perfect points. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. This was a really chill vlog. I mean, chat, very, very long, and I do really apologize for that. But I wanted y'all to know what I was experiencing, and I'm glad that I could share it. So, and I'm glad that you all listened to me, and, you know, you just kind of take into account my feelings, my emotions, and my spiritual being, you know, as a person. and it's really encouraging and motivating. But I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for rocking with me, and I hope you all have a blessed rest of your day. Stay favorable. I hope it's full of laughter, love, and joy, and, you know, stay positive. But crystal kisses and royal blessings. Mwah.
Keep showing up, and I'ma keep showing up. Do you wanna buy?